season because they're not losing. I can tell you what my least favorite sport is right now. Is that cool?
Yeah.
College football, because like they're just come on, they're 85% of them aren't good. It's like it's watching a bunch of amateurs. And one thing, like, I can't respect a sport that Alabama is the best at. What else is Alabama the best at? Like racism. Yeah.
Sean, what have you got, man? What do you watch on Sports Watch?
I like college basketball. I'm a big college basketball. I have a problem with the fact there's something strange to me about when people wear jerseys of players that are younger than them on their back. I know a lot of people but like when you watch college sports, you don't realize like when you get older and then you like college sports and then you get to a little bit older and then you're like kind of the same age as them. And then you're 30 and they're like 19 and you're like, oh shit, I'm betting on children. like, all right.
Good job, guys. My favorite sport right now is the NBA. Mainly because the players don't care at all. They admit to being drunk and high during the games. Everybody's got a guaranteed contract. But why I like it as a fan is this. It's the only sport where if the game starts at 7, you don't have to put it on until 9:15, and you'll still see everything that's important from 9:15 to 9:30. So for me, that works because I know the game's at 7. About 7 o'clock, I'll take a bath. I'll cut my nails, I'll eat a nice comfort meal, I'll catch up on Us Weekly, I'll watch E! News Nightly, Money just came out of the closet, and I'll check the game about 9:15, and we'll talk about the next day if people work so nobody thinks I'm gay. There's no commitment, it's 15 minutes, you're good for the whole night. Like people that start football at like 7 a.m. on Sunday and watch it till midnight, you should try harder at life. That's just some dumb ignorant shit right there. Alright, you guys ready to move on?
Yes. I like these signs. These are.
Well, they were great though. He wrecked them. All right, we got second round. TV. Here's my question, you guys. Thanksgiving's about a week away. If you could eat Thanksgiving dinner with the cast of any TV show, who would you pick?
I would go with the Cosby Show cast because is it not the most fun on television when you watch the Cosby Show? I mean, seriously, like I love that show. It could be the worst day in the world, and if I put the Cosby Show, yeah, it's great. Cosby dinner, I love it. That's my answer. Yeah.
Why not? Now, is the cast a different world sitting at the kids' table?
Do you think that you eat a lot of pudding for dessert?
A lot of pudding. A lot of pudding.
Pudding roll.
Still got it. No, see, wait. We talk. He does a good Bill Cosby. We talked before the show about how when you do imitations, you think you're so good until you hear yourself recorded. But that was a good Bill Cosby.
Just pudding, though.
And Kodak, and what else did he do?
That's a great Bill Cosby impersonation for Vine. 6 seconds and out. Girl, what cast are you eating dinner with?
The Flavor of Love cast.
Yes.
Anybody watching TV in the last 5 years?
That would just be like just a regular Thanksgiving for me. Just a bunch of women fighting over a tiny black man.
Sean, what do we got, man?
I would pick Dawson's Creek. Only because I'd want to air my grievances, Festivus style, because one time I binge watched Dawson's Creek before I had to drive across country to California. And I watched like Dawson's Creek and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go this way. And I drove to Florida instead. And I showed up at my ex-girlfriend's house. And I was just like, oh, it's going to be this big Dawson's Creek thing. Totally not like that. She called like the suicide hotline. I'm like, oh, this is what Pacey does. So I'd have a lot of grievances too. You guys really put me in a bad spot.
That's all great picks. I'm going to go out on a limb and pick a show that's actually still on, or at least about the last 10 years. And I'm going with Man vs. Food. Because my grandma would be like, hey, how's school going? How's work? How's the economy? Shut up, Grandma. Adam's about to eat a whole turkey. Okay, again, we're staying in the holiday spirit. What is the best holiday movie of all time?
Ernest Scared Stupid. That is a great. That is great. I actually cried at Ernest Goes to Camp. I have a thing for Ernest movies. They're actually doing a sequel to It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if you've heard. So
I don't watch old people TV. Where would I have heard that?
It's on the internet.
I'm not 90 years old.
Well, life will no longer be wonderful when the sequel comes out. So we can look forward to that. Your turn.
I'm gonna say Love Actually. That's a really good. Oh, yeah. I'm sensitive. I don't know. Is anybody here watch The Walking Dead? Yeah. Do you guys notice that Rick Grimes is the guy from Love Actually? The guy with the cards that's in love with Keira Knightley?
The zombie?
No, Rick Grimes is the main guy, and nobody besides
He's the sheriff.
He's the sheriff. Yeah, watch them. if you watch them together, it's kind of ridiculous. Like I always expect him to just like be telling a zombie that he loves her through cards. It's a great movie. You guys should probably see it. It doesn't matter. It's British. You're not being socialist if you watch it. I'm gonna pass the mic.
I like Home Alone. Only not. I mean, I love. Trust me. When I was a kid, my greatest thing is just someday, soon, hopefully, I beat up an adult. You know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, any day now I'm just gonna be roundhouse kicking an adult or paint can. But I loved when Kevin smelled the pizza.
Yes.
And he's like, whole cheese pizza for myself. It's like, that is Christmas. Whole cheese pizza for myself.
If you want to come, I'm going to beat up Joe Pesci. He lives in Point.
My pick is definitely the Christmas Story. It's the only movie I ever watched for 24 straight hours and I hated the end of it. Plus, I think it's incredibly ahead of its time. I think it was made in the early 80s, and some of the issues addressed in that movie, bullying, kids failing horribly at school, and kids obsessed with guns. Stuff that's happening right now. Nothing. Nobody thinks debilitating social issues are important and want to laugh at them. The only one, there's a scene in that movie that should still be going on, but it's not. The kid curses, and his mother washes his mouth out with soap. So here was the idea back in the 50s. Our kid said a word he shouldn't have said. Let's poison him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, fourth round. We got music. Here's the question of the night. I want the most embarrassing thing in your iPod. So I'm saying if we took it from you right now, press shuffle, and played in this theater, what are you sweating bullets that doesn't come off?
I have a lot of Engelbert Humperdinck in my iPhone. Well, you know from when we spoke, I mix a lot of hip-hop, so I have a lot of odd stuff. Although I have, believe it or not, I have to have a day job, so because the money's just pouring in. But they're still paying us, right?
Talk, make sure the rest of this panel goes.
Okay. Well, anyway, coworker of mine came to work and he's playing like all kinds of hardcore metal and stuff like that. And then I hear a tisket. I was like, what the hell is that? He's like, my daughter had a birthday party. I'm like, yeah, you just ride to work with that thing playing, you know. So, okay. Yeah. This is hard. This is like a.
I had initially planned to. I knew we were gonna have a music question, and I was gonna bring up my iPod so I could actually look for it, but I left it in my jacket. So off the top of the dome, I have to say that Ashanti and Ja Rule song. Would you love me in the morning, Would you love me in the morning? You know the one where it's like Grease, but he's just saying really bad stuff to her the whole time in the video, like, wanna love you with your skirt on. And she's like, you're so cute. Yeah, that one I think.
Worst thing, I have half of my iPod is embarrassing because I am one of the select few that shares an iPod with an 11-year-old. I don't have an iPod, but I plugged it in one time and I shared it with my little cousin Eliza. So, there are tons of stuff that are bad. Bieber, a lot of Bieber. But more embarrassing is when my little cousin has to ask for it back. Be like, come on, just Fine. I'll run in my jeans.
Mine, I just became aware of about a week ago. I was at an event with DJ Clue. Yes, the DJ Clue. I got home from that event. I told my wife I was hanging out with Clue, and she was like, "Where the hell did you go? 1998?" So I'm sitting there, and I just remember in the back of my mind, like 15 years ago, he remixed the Mariah Carey song. That was a banger, right? And I knew I couldn't remember the name of it for the life of me, so I pull up my phone. I think I got it on there. So I go through the 2 or 3 dozen DJ Clue mixtapes I have on there. That's not the embarrassing part yet. And I'm like, well, I can't find it. Maybe it's on the Mariah Carey. So I go into Mariah Carey, and to my shock and dismay, 27 Mariah Carey songs. Who do I think I am? Nick Cannon doesn't have 27 Mariah Carey songs. So then, on the way home, I'm like, that's unacceptable. I cannot live like this. I got to cut some of these. So I start playing them. They're awesome. She is a national treasure. I now have 43 Mariah Carey songs because I went back and filled in the gaps. All right, that's going to do it for the first 4 rounds. What do we got? What do you want us to address, guys?
Questions from the audience, anybody? Anything. Anything. Don't be shy.
Sure.
Okay, that's good. That's all right. Some of you guys addressed already. Let's talk
It's a
about
statement,
that.
It's a
sir.
statement.
I think
Put your answer in the form of
I like where this is going. Here's the deal. We're all basically from here, except for Dennis, who's a liar and no idea where he's from. What's funny about the Jersey Shore? Why is MTV here every couple of years? Why does the whole world know about this area of the country? How does it birth us? What's funny about this?
Definitely, I mean, if you go out west, they have beautiful beaches, and we have like people who change their kids at the beach in the water, and like, condoms float on the shore. You can't see like in 2-foot deep water. I mean, that's not normal, everybody. So that's kind of funny.
Also, I grew up in a town where there are no bookstores. You cannot buy a book in Toms River, New Jersey. George Orwell's 1984. They're just gone. But somehow there's not one but 2 jet ski superstores. How many people need jet skis in one suburban town? Dennis, what do you got, man?
I'd have to say fried Oreos are the best thing about the Jersey Shore. If you never had a fried Oreo, it's not as good as you would think it would be. I thought that I was like getting into something that was gonna be like, everybody described them like it was like, oh, you gotta try fried Oreos, bro. But it's just like a soggy Oreo with like extra powdered sugar on it, and I think that funnel cake and fried Oreos really, they're like, it's like the identity of the boardwalk, I think, and like those big plates of chips, just like grease and fat, and like, who would make this Oreo better? We should dip it in some frosty stuff.
I think another thing that's good, man, is that there's a lot.
That was the sound of my heart attack.
Obviously, you're into a place like Asbury, and it's cool. There's a lot of new businesses, a lot of cool bars, and like dessert places and vegan restaurants. Some of them will work, and I hope they all do. Some of them just will not, just the way the economy goes. But I think if you want to be in business and successful and really rich at the Jersey Shore, you got to focus on a few main things: hair salons, nail salons, and strip mall karate schools. There is nowhere in the world where there's more people willing to pay people to kick the shit out of them than at the Jersey Shore. But I don't even hate that about here, because I sometimes have to drive through Newark, because honestly I've made a lot of poor decisions in my life. And there's a lot of karate schools up in the hood, and when I drive by them I just think to myself, aren't these kids dangerous enough? Joe, what do you got, man?
Karate schools. Karate schools. Love them. Love, yeah. Not been accepted to a single one of them. That's why I love them so much. I once went to a karate school, and I went there because at St. Patrick's Day Parade, they were throwing Jolly Ranchers with coupons attached to them, and I was scooping them up, and I'm like, oh, I got enough for a black belt here. And that's how I learned about how coupons work. You can only use one. I'm like, what? Because their register doesn't have quarters dimes, nickels, pennies, watermelon. Watermelon's like, oh, here's your 3 Jolly Ranchers back. But I love the Jersey Shore because if you ever go to like one of the seaside boardwalks where they have like a second story, you can just look over and basically it looks like